Hey y'all, welcome back. Today's video is just going to be a good old makeup chit chat, get ready with me type video. I'm going to be using a mix of some stuff that I love. It's my tried and true products that I would recommend to anybody, along with some new stuff as well. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Hit that bell to get that notification every time I upload a video. I am going to be trying to upload a video on Wednesdays, like once a week. So yeah, let's get into today's video. Okay, to start off, I have not done anything to prep my face yet, and what I'm going to use, I'm not really going to use a primer. I am going to use the Centella Green Level Unscented Sunscreen in SPF 50. I love this stuff so much. I have been using this for about 4 or 5 years now. I was actually turned onto this by Taylor Wynn, and because she was like the big first YouTuber that I actually followed consistently, and that was back whenever she was doing videos on Accutane. So after I had a hysterectomy in 2017, I started getting real bad acne around this area in my chin, and I couldn't do anything to get rid of it. So Accutane was finally the last straw, and boy, let me tell you, I watched so many videos on it because I just heard how awful it was for the body. But I ended up watching her videos, and let me tell you, it was just so good. The things that she recommended just saved my skin. So I've been following her ever since. She is definitely my favorite YouTuber. For the most part, we do have the same skin concerns, same colors and undertones. So for the most part, if she recommends it, it's always worked for me. So this sunscreen is one thing that I will always buy this. It's the best, and that's what it looks like. You can get it on Amazon, and of course I will link it down below. Yeah, speaking of Taylor, if you all want somebody who's very similar to me as far as skin tone, skin concerns, because I am pretty fair to a light shade. Most of the time it's going to be cool undertones that I tend to go for. Some can be a little too pink, just depending on the product, so I'll lean towards something more neutral, because a lot of the times most things are just way too warm for me. They look too dark, they pull too yellow, too orange. So anything cool, rosy typically works for me. But if you are looking for somebody else, she is somebody that I would recommend. I love her so much. So the next thing I'm going to be using is also from Purito. This is the Cica Clearing BB Cream, and it's in the shade 21 Light Beige. You can also get this on Amazon. It comes in a little squeezy tube. This is actually a new one. I had the old version that it kind of looked like this in the same type of packaging, but I needed to toss that, so I bought a new one. And let me tell you, even though this is called a BB cream, it is full coverage. It is 100% full coverage. So for foundation, I'm going to be applying it with my Haley's Beauty foundation brush. This is one of my favorite foundation brushes that I own, and I own quite a bit. I don't know what it is, but I think it's makeup brushes. Okay, so tell me if you all agree. To me, makeup brushes are the pens of the art world. For me, I guess you could say, I'm obsessed with pens. I guess I get that from my mom, but I'm also obsessed with makeup brushes. I had so many makeup brushes, I finally had to end up getting rid of a lot of them, and now I just I say I have my staples that I use, but I still I have these are all eyeshadow brushes, and then of course I have my other makeup brushes that I use for my face. But yeah, it's just, I'm obsessed with makeup brushes. So I'm going to apply this directly onto my face, and actually let me shake this up first because it will squirt everywhere. That's what she said. Alright, so I'm going to take this and I'm going to apply it directly to my skin. Now, I know like in person this does look like very gray undertone, and it definitely pulls on camera like that, but it does go on. It does not look like that when you get it blended out. It does have a slight scent to it, but honestly, I'm super sensitive to fragrances, and I still continue to use this because I love it that much. I can deal with it. So got that all blended in, and really like it blends in like so good. And this is really almost like a true shade match for me. That was just enough that I put on my cheek over there that filled the whole side of my face. So you can see that this side is definitely a little more even tone versus the non-foundation side. Now I'm going to take another squeeze of this and I'm going to put it directly on the face, and that almost did just drip down. So tell me down below if you prefer to put foundation on with your hands, which I haven't done that in so long, or a brush or a sponge. I used to do my makeup with a sponge, but I just don't feel like it did what I wanted it to, and that could have been my fault. It could have been the foundation, who knows, but I love putting foundation on my face with the brush. I love watching people do it. There's just something so like satisfactory about it. So usually if I have to use a sponge to get a foundation to work for me, I won't use it because I am definitely a brush girly. And normally I would do my eyeshadow first, but I kind of want to show you all how this kind of sets down as I'm going through, because I'm not going to put any powder on my face. Alright, and I think we're good. Yes, I have not used this in so long, and I just forgot how much I love this foundation. It is dewy. It is skin-like, and of course it lays perfectly over that SPF. I just think they're like the perfect combination. And for my skin type, I do lean a little more on the dry side now. I used to be super oily. I went on Accutane and it pretty much ended the oily forever. And then, of course, I was diagnosed with cancer. I went through chemotherapy, and you talk about dry. And I thought Accutane was bad. No, that chemo, wow. I mean, I was peeling on my scalp, on my face, my feet. Oh, my feet were awful. Like, and speaking of that, would you all like, comment down below if how you all would feel about me doing like a, like kind of a get to know me video. Of course, talking about the breast cancer, you know, things that people don't tell you when you're diagnosed with cancer, regardless of what kind of cancer it is. I just think there's a lot of things that I wish I would have knew when I found out I had stage 4 breast cancer. So yeah, it'll probably be like a video where I just sit and do my makeup and just talk about it, or you all can ask me questions. I'll post a poll over on my Instagram, and I'll also do it here on YouTube. But yeah, just tell me all if you all would like that kind of thing, because I really kind of want to do that. So y'all just let me know. Now, something I do when I'm doing my makeup is, because I don't have like a huge desk, and of course it is white. So I actually have this extra like glass cup that I just sit here on my desk, and I put all my makeup brushes in it. So it's not sitting on my vanity. And man, it not only does it not take up space, but it doesn't get makeup, because I usually have to clean the top of this off every time I do my makeup. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is actually, no, I'm not. I don't really feel like I need concealer. Like Like, honestly, I don't really need concealer with this foundation. I don't know why I even grabbed it out. It's just habit at this point. So yeah, we're going to skip concealer. I think I'm going to go ahead and start the eyes. Now, what I am going to do is I am going to take the Rare Beauty Eye Primer. This is what it looks like. And let me grab my concealer brush. I'm going to be using the BK A506. That was from the Angie Hot and Flashy collection. And you can see like the shape of it. It is just so good for concealer. I love it. Now, even though I did put foundation over my eyes, which I always do, a lot of people don't do that. I do always use eyelid primer, or you can use a color corrector. You can use just whatever your favorite concealer is too. And then I always set that with a powder, and that's because I really want my eyeshadows to kind of last all day. And I do actually, as dry as my face does get, I still do tend to get oily lids, and I don't know why. So yeah, I highly recommend the Rare Beauty Eye Primer. I think it's definitely one of the best out there. Alright, and for eyeshadow today, we are going to be using the Patrick Ta Major Dimensions 3 palette. Now, first of all, yes, this palette is stunning. I mean, look at that. And she is a little pricey. But honestly, like this, I could not stop using this. Like every time we go out and I just want like a really nice, like neutral, like glam eye look, I always gravitate toward this. I mean, look at that. You can get pretty much like any of those browns. Like you can see where I've used quite a bit of them, but these are also creams, and he does usually do that on his eyeshadow palettes. But yeah, this is such a great neutral eyeshadow palette, and for somebody who is fair like me, it doesn't tend to go orange. And I noticed that I have a lot of issue. Brown eyeshadows usually pull like a little orange on me, and not this palette. And speaking of that, I know this is a nude palette, but for the Sephora sale, today I'm actually going to pick up the Makeup by Mario, the Neutrals palette, even though it's very similar to this, but I just love me a neutral palette. Oh, and I also bought the Natasha Denona. I need a nude, so that's going to be showing up soon. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm not really going to use a powder to actually set this, because this eyeshadow palette does have this shade in it. So I'm actually going to take this, and this is also a BK. This is the A503. It's also from that Angie Hot and Flashy collection, and I'm going to take that lightest color, and I'm just going to set the primer with that. Now, a lot of people will say that with a true eyeshadow primer or eyelid primer that you shouldn't have to set them. I just think shadows blend better on powder, so I always want to set that eyelid. And especially if you're somebody that has an oily eyelid, always set your lid. It's going to change the way the eyeshadow not only sit on your eyelid, but stay on your eyelid throughout the day. Alright, so I think that's good on that. And it is, like, it's not a color that you can see. It's really to just set it. It's a transition shade. I can't talk today. And I apologize. I do have my door shut in my beauty room, but my husband is outside cutting grass, so I'm hoping that you all don't hear the lawnmower. Alright, so for the next color, I think I'm going to take this shade here, which is like a light brown. And this is just, I don't even know where this brush came from. It says Queen blending brush. It's like a purple. I think it came in an Ipsy bag if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I'm going to take that brown And I'm going to put that right in the crease. Gosh, this is such a good brown, y'all. And I do have hooded eyes. That's something else. So typically I do tend to use smaller brushes because you can get your eyeshadows like more precise. And I've noticed since I've been using different, or not different, but smaller eyeshadow brushes, it has just really changed how my makeup looks. It makes it so much easier. And yeah, that was something that I wish I would have been told before I really got into makeup. And I didn't really know what hooded eyes technically were until I started watching Britt Clark. And when she had said that she had hooded eyes and kind of explained what the hooded eye was, I was like, oh, that's me. I got a hooded eye. So basically what that means is, like, when you close your eye, this top eyelid up here kind of sits down on your lower. So whenever you're doing shadows on your eyelid, if you have a hooded eye, my suggestion is to rest your eye exactly how it would if you were like looking into a mirror, and then you're going to actually apply that eyeshadow, like not exactly in that crease because obviously your crease is covered, but you're going to want to do it like right above it so you can see it with your eye, you know, just being relaxed. So ever since I've started doing that, it really just makes a lot of difference in how my eyeshadow looks. Alright, so I think we're good on that brown. Alright, now I'm going to take this shade here, which is an even darker brown, and I'm going to use an even smaller but more like dome brush, I think. Yeah, I'm going to take... okay, I'm actually going to use this brush here. I think it was another brush that came in a... Oh, this is the Essence Smoky Eyes brush. And this came in a set that I got, but you can see it's kind of just got like a dome brush on it. It's not super big. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that really deep brown shade, and I'm just going to put that right there on the outer corner of the eye. And having a brush like this and having just that really small dome on it really gets your eyeshadows like precise, and especially if you're not wanting to do a full-on like smoky eye, using a smaller brush like this is great, because I do believe just as an artist your tools that you use are honestly just as important as the product that you are applying, because if you have a bad brush you're not really going to get a good look with your art, so to speak. So yeah, makes a big difference. And you know, this is really my first video where like I'm trying to figure out things to talk about, because it's so hard like doing makeup and like just talking, especially if I don't have nothing like telling me what to say or anybody asking me questions. So if I get silent, I apologize. Alright, I think that's going to be good for that. Now you can just see that I just got that brown in that very outer portion of the eyelid. And please tell me when you all were watching this, because I don't know if you're watching it on mobile or a PC or an iPad. Let me know, because I've taken a picture of the lens and how far it zoomed up. So please let me know if this is a good distance, or if you need to be zoomed in a little closer, a little back. Just let me know, please, because I'm doing an all matte look today. I'm not doing any shimmers. I think I'm actually gonna take this is the BK 203 brush, and I'm gonna take that lightest shade in the palette, again this one. I'm actually gonna put this all over the lid rather than putting like a shimmer on the lid like I normally was if I wasn't using all matte shadows. But I wanted to look a little more natural. I mean, you know, as natural as this can look. And I will say something else about these eyeshadows is they are like so nice. You don't get a whole lot of like kickback in the pan. And there is really not a whole lot of fallout, which I love. So I'm really excited to get the Mario palette. I'm sure if there's any of you watching that's already used that and have this one, I want to know your opinion. Which one you like better, because I feel like between this one, the Mario, and then Natasha Denona, there's like some really good like neutral palettes, and for somebody who is fair complected with the cool skin tone, I'm all for it. Keep bringing them out because I'm probably going to buy them. So yeah, this matte shade, man, it is like, it is so nice. Like a part of me, like, because you know shadows, they really don't expire. Like a part of me wants to buy another one of these on a backup. Does that make me a hoarder? I don't know, Tanya, does that make me a hoarder? But yeah, this is such a great palette. If I could recommend, and I even told my husband this, and I know he really doesn't care, but if I could only pick one palette to keep for the rest of my life, she's it, y'all. Like, worth every cent. And no, this is not sponsored. Alright, so I think we're good on the eyes. My right eye might need a little bit more. And do you all have that one eye that doesn't like to like open right? See, like my left eye, I can close it and keep it nice and smooth, but my right eye, she don't want to close, and it's really hard to do it without making a face too. I know there's got to be more y'all out there that have that same problem. Alright, I think we are good. The next thing that I'm going to do is I am going to take this is my Rephr 03 brush. It's got a super fine point tip on it. And I'm actually going to take this shade here, put a little bit on the tip of that brush, and I'm just going to put that right under the lid. I love this brush for this because it is like so precise. And honestly, like I used to never want to use, I'm going to do the same thing to the other eye. Real brushes, just because, you know, I'm very pro, you know, animal rights and stuff like that. But these brushes, Britt Clark got me onto these Rephr brushes, and I just have to say they've literally changed my life. Like, they are just so good. They are a little expensive, I will say that, but they're worth the money. Alright, so I think we're good on that under eye. And I only put that dark like right here in this section because we're going to do a little bit of a lighter shade closer to the lid. Or not closer to the lid, but closer to the nose. Alright, I'm going to take a smaller fluffy brush, and this is also the BKA 504. It is from the Angie Hot and Flashy collection. And I'm actually going to take a little bit of this like camel shade right here on this fluffy brush. And I'm just going to like smoke this side out a little bit and kind of smudge it to blend those colors at the end of your corner of your eye over here. Now I will say this is the one shade in this palette that does lean a little warm on my eye, but it is nothing that I can't deal with. Alright, so now I'm going to go back to my original powder brush that I use. I'm going to take that clear again, and I'm just going to marry all this together. And basically this is just to give it a nice, what am I trying to say? Like they're all blended, you know, it's right. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to move away from the eyes because I think for now I'm done with the eyes. We are going to go with bronzer. And I am using one of my favorites of all time. This is the Hourglass Ambient Bronzer in the shade Nude Light Bronze. Like that is just, it is so pretty and just gives you like the beautiful finish on the face. And I think I am going to use, I think I'm going to start with this one. This is the Refer 05. That is what she looks like. All right, I'm going to tap into this. And we're just going to warm up the edges of the face. Now, I am not someone who does like a contour and a bronze. I kind of just use the bronzer as the contour just to kind of warm up my face. This is one of the best bronzers of all time in my opinion. Like, I am a huge Hourglass fan, and yeah, I will always buy it. I also love their blushes too, but that's not what I'm going to be using in today's video. Alright, I think we are good on that now because we're going to go in and do a little more blending in just a second. Alright, for the blush, I am using this ColorPop blush, and I do not know what the shade of this is. I'll have to get on my account to find it. But I ended up buying one shade, and then you could buy these little containers separately, and they are magnetic. But yeah, I'm not really sure what this shade is, but I will let you all know. Alright, and for blush, I am actually, because I prefer to put on powder blush with more of a fluffy brush, and this is the Anissa Beauty Tapered Highlight Brush, but I love using this for blush. Alright, I'm going to tap into here, and this, don't let this fool you. Like this, she's got some color. This is one of my very first blushes that I ever bought. Alright, we're going to smile and put those on the apples of the cheeks. There. Going to do it to the other side. And I'm not dipping in anymore. I'm just using what's left on the brush. And we're just going to blend that out a little bit. Now, like I said, I did not set this foundation, so I have never had to set this foundation before putting powder products on it. Just an FYI. That's another reason why I love it so much. And I actually did get a powder out today to use, and I was like, I don't even need that. Alright, I think we're good on blush. Like I said, we're going to blend it again in just a second. Alright, and the next thing, we are using an OG. This is the Flower Beauty Shimmer and Strobe Highlighting Palette. And it actually comes with 3 different highlights. Like you have your, you have your gold tone here with your pink tone here. And then of course your more neutral, like champagne, not really champagne-y, but a little bit on the cooler side highlight here. This is the one that I usually use. That's what I'm going to use today. This used to have like a little like brush thing in it, but I ended up throwing it away. But for this, to apply the highlight, I'm actually going to take, this is the A14, and this came in the Morphe X Ariel brush collection, which is chef's kiss. Alright, so we're going to take that lightest shade here, dip into it, and we're going to highlight that cheekbone. I mean, this, like, it's a toss-up. Like, if I had to only keep one highlighter, it would definitely be between this and then the ColorPop Flexitarian, because I just think, like, for my skin tone, I just think they are, like, so good. They're so neutral. You can use them for anything. Alright, so put some on the upper lip here, the tip of the nose. Alright, I think we're good on highlight. Now, I think after looking, I'm going to go back into the Patrick Ta palette, and I'm actually going to take that BK203 brush again, and I'm just going to put some more of this white on in here because I don't think I did enough to get the look that I wanted to. There we go. Okay. Perfect. This is such a great eyeshadow. Like, you can't get any better than this. Okay, I think we are completely done with the eyeshadow now. Alright, so I do have some new things that I'm gonna try for the Sephora sale that's going on. You know, Sephora had 30% off everything of their brand, and based on a recommendation from Jessica Braun, I bought the Sephora 12-hour colorful crayon, and this is their contour eye pencil. It is waterproof and it is in the shade Tiramisu. It is a brown eyeliner, so I'm going to be using that today. Now, I do have one of the other eyeliners from Sephora in black, and let me tell you, like, it is so good. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is, because I've never used this before, I'm actually going to warm it up on the top of my hand, and wow, okay, look at that. That is a great brown. Like, that is probably a good close, like, dupe color to the Mario that I usually use. Alright, so we're going to use this on the waterline. Now, whenever I'm doing my eyeliner, I typically do not put my fingers on my face. I'll use either the brush that I did my foundation with, or I'll use like a powder puff like this to kind of just pull the eyelid down, because I honestly don't know, like some of the girls here on YouTube, it is a true art, because they can just go all in, and I can't do that. At least not yet. I'll get there eventually. Alright, so we're going to put this on the eyelid. Okay, now on the lid, it is definitely a warm tone brown, but wow, it is pretty. Alright, so I'm done with the liner. We'll see how this wears tonight. And then before I go on to setting spray, I'm actually going to take a just big fluffy brush, and this is just my Wet n Wild from the Scooby-Doo collection. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull my hair back, and then I'm just going to rub everything that's in, just blend out them cheeks. Y'all, my skin looks so good today. I'm so happy that I pulled this foundation back out. Like, it is so good. And I did actually give my mom, because I bought a darker shade thinking that I was like, oh, in the summer I'll get tan, I'll need a darker shade. Well, your girl don't tan. So I ended up giving it to my mom. But yeah, I highly recommend. I will definitely link that below for you guys. Alright, so I think we're good. We're nice and blended. Everything's working together. For my setting spray, I'm going to use the Milk Makeup Hydro setting spray, and this is the mini size. I love this. Sometimes I don't like the sprayer on this because I don't know what it does, but sometimes like you'll get just a random like hard mist. Let that dry. And I think my camera's about to die. Come on, can you hold out for me? Alright, so the last thing I'm going to do is mascara, and this is the Essence Lash Princess, and this is in the shade or color Black Brown. And I've been wanting to use this, and I finally got that in the mail yesterday. And does anybody else make weird faces when you're putting on mascara? Because I don't know how not to. And God, I used to have the best eyelashes, and then chemo, of course, took that from me. Alright, this is the final look. Let me know what you guys think. I'm going to put everything that I used down in the description box. If there's any other videos that you all want to see from me, please let me know. Put it down below. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. And I appreciate every one of you all being here. Bye.